Welcome to the Intimacy Lab. I'm Michelle Renee, an intimacy guide, surrogate partner, and professional cuddler. We're here to talk about intimacy in a much broader view than what you're probably thinking. Most people think about intimacy as sex. We're going to break that apart here. Welcome to the lab. Welcome back to the Intimacy Lab. This is a little teaser for season 2. If you caught season 1, thank you for listening. So here's a little update. When I started this podcast, like a lot of things I do, it's kind of like on a whim, and I just say, Michelle wants to have a podcast. This is how I'm going to do it. And guess what? I hit a wall. I hit a wall of overwhelm between all of my different projects, including the podcast. I knew I needed to clear out some space. So I'm restructuring the podcast so that I have a whole season ready before I start dropping them. And then I can drop them every week for a series of weeks. So let this be your update of there will be more coming. Season 2 will be coming. I don't have a date yet, but I figured I could shoot a quick little mini podcast and just update my listeners so that they don't think I just like fell off the face of the earth. You might hear a cold in my voice. I'm recording this on February 10th. And since Thanksgiving, this is my third cold. Now, I am not someone who usually gets sick. So I can tell you it makes total sense because I am like, I don't want to say dealing with a lot or going through a lot, but yeah, maybe going through a lot is the right way to say it. The thing is, I've been on this healing journey since really like 2014. I've made lots and lots of, I don't want to say changes. I've had lots and lots of growth. And I often refer to the process as kind of like if you took an onion and because a lot of people will say like we peel like onions and our brain lets us deal with the things that we're ready to deal with when we get to that space and another layer of the onion is exposed. I just finished reading Emily Nagoski's new book, and in her book, she refers to it as, let me pause, and I will look up her phrase. Emily calls it in her new book, Come Together. She calls it the cycle of woundedness to healing. And you just keep going back and forth, right? And I keep learning more about myself. I think I get to supercharge that a bit because of the work that I do. I get to see myself in my clients and see my clients in me. And so I get this kind of really rare opportunity to really self-evaluate real often. Like I am one who, I don't want to say gets my kicks on self-development, but yeah, I kind of get my kicks on self-development. I was talking to a friend yesterday and he kind of pointed that out, that while I was really hurting yesterday, I was bawling my eyes out. This friend had never seen me in that kind of emotional condition. And he said, but I want to like point out, we kind of like this stuff, don't we? And I was like, yeah, no, I wouldn't want it any other way. Right. So when they say like you got to go through it, I love going through it. And I'm also like, I want all the answers and I want to know what's on the other side. And here's the thing, like, I also can't know. And so I'm checking myself with the help of a lot of really great people in my life to just slow that down. So season 2 will come when it comes. And I'm excited to share season 2 with you. I have 8 episodes. Just different people in my life. We're going to get to meet my Michigan wife, which is I think of it as a really fun and touching interview because she's so close to me and she'd never done anything like this before. So I think it's really cool that we got to capture our friendship on a podcast and go through like different people that have personally touched my life as far as my own personal growth. We're going to talk to Leela Sinha, who wrote the book You're Not Too Much, which I've talked about so much since it came out, I think in 2016. And then there's a handful of different therapists that I talk to. There's some touch workers, but also I'm so stoked to introduce you all to Nat. Nat was the person on TikTok who I first learned about the idea of coercion, especially around sex and long-term relationships. So we had a really great conversation. So don't think I'm going to sit on these for very long because I really want to get them out to you. But also I'm not giving myself a deadline or a timeline. So I just want to shoot this quick episode and get something out to y'all and say, I'm not dropping the podcast. I'm absolutely loving doing the podcast. I'm just going to change the structure of it to make sure that I can stay happy in recording it and editing it and putting it out to y'all. So thanks for being here. If you have any specific topics you would like a question you would like me to answer on a podcast, I have not started editing these yet. And the lovely people at Riverside, where I record my podcast, they keep bringing out really great tools for the post-production side of podcasting. And so I can drop clips into my podcast that I recorded not at the same time. So if you've got something that you would love me to answer, you can send anonymous questions or comments by going to intimacylabpodcast.com. Scroll down just a little bit and there's a little form you can fill out. And I would love to hear from you. So I hope if you are catching this that you will reach out. Let's connect, and you'll hear from me soon. Thank you for joining us. If you'd like to comment, pose a question, or learn more about the guests often featured on the show, visit us at intimacylabpodcast.com. Please also take a moment to review us on your favorite podcast app. It's one of the best ways to show your support. As for me, you can find out more about my work at meetmichellerenee.com, as well as on most social medias at meetmichellerenee. Let's connect again soon.